What internet marketing expert should you spend your valuable time listening to? Listen to someone who has over 20 years of web marketing experience and hundreds of website marketing success stories. That man is Aaron Sparks from Site Strategics. And this is Edge of the Web Radio.
We like to showcase a lot of companies from across the country that are building the better solution for businesses to connect with their consumers. And today is one of those days. I'd like to introduce to you a company named PERQ and the leaders at the helm of this company. That's Scott Hill and Andy Medley. Hello, gentlemen. How are we doing?
Hello. Not too bad. Thanks for having us.
Oh, you're more than welcome. More than welcome. Thanks so much for coming on The Edge, and we certainly have been looking at your company for a while, and Doug himself has showcased a bit of your technology in a previous episode, and we certainly wanted to get you on board here. So I'll tell you what, tell me a little bit about yourself. Scott, can you tell me a little bit about where are you from and what you've been doing?
So I started off in the newspaper industry, my career, so familiar with that side of the media and the challenges that media's faced and trying to be able to branch into the digital piece. And so started off in that and saw an opportunity way back in 2001 to be able to apply some additional services, marketing services to some of the local auto dealers in that area. And so I made the leap, jumped out on my own, and started a automotive marketing company, mostly around actually leveraging some of the experience picked up in the newspapers around inserts and using them to actually put call to actions, incentives on those marketing pieces and drive people into the dealership. And partnered up with best friend from Andy Medley from Hanover College.
He still considers me that. That's,
wow.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
He doesn't consider me that, but you know, it also works one way.
Yeah, we were college roommates at the time right after school. My dad had, was pretty much a homegrown entrepreneur and was in the restaurant business and helped me get a loan into 2 of his stores, and that's what I was doing. And was hearing about his ideas. It was starting to come to life back in 01.
Right.
And, jumped on board, and we started out of a family room, and we're cold calling. I just, the funniest story I can remember is me particularly hoping that no one asked me a question, because there was no question they could ask that I was going to know the answer to. So, yeah, we started out of the family room and started to grow it from there. Started to understand the market and all that stuff.
Those are the best stories, absolutely. And it's a great American experience as well, is be able to start it from scratch and be able to bring and learn along the way. Yeah. That's fantastic.
I do consider him my best friend, though. I was getting sad.
I think you guys,
very sweet.
I think you guys have a bet. Like the first one to leave gets all the kids or something like that, right? Well, tell me about PERQ a little bit. From a general standpoint, I caught some information here recently. You were listed in Inc. magazine's top 225 fastest growing companies in the U.S. back in 2005, 2006. Now, fast forward several years from there, how are you? That was a great article, but where are you now?
So, we started off that division doing the automotive marketing, and that company was called TriAuto at the time.
Got it.
And that company grew very quickly, and we saw an opportunity to launch another division saying, let's leverage some of the newspaper experience that I had previously had and knew they were struggling with taking advantage of some of these marketing services and applying them to their local market. And so we started a division exclusively for taking our services that we had developed in TriAuto and applying them for the newspapers to be able to take advantage of in their local market. And that business was Trace. And it grew very rapidly as well. And over time, one little marketing innovation and decision as we continue to progress on how to deliver higher value to our customers, continue to be able to lead us into more of the technology area to be able to say, okay, this is where things are headed and how are we leveraging technology to be able to bring more value to our businesses. And as we started the third division, BizProps, to be able to create that technology, the success that technology started having led us to say, let's go ahead and consolidate all these divisions up into it. And previously, our holding company had been CIK, and we changed that company to be PERQ, and we just recently announced that rebranding within the past week, 10 days or so. So we're officially PERQ now and be able to consolidate everything, and that's enabling us to be able to have much more power and investment into the brand to be able to continue to grow from there.
So we focus on top of the funnel. We, like you said at the beginning, appreciate that boilerplate. We help help businesses attract new buyers with incentives,
right.
Leveraging our FATWIN technology. And, just like Scott said, we launched 2 weeks ago. So it's been great internally as a team, watching our staff, contact our existing customers. We had that was the most important first, was letting them know about the brand and what that meant and where we were going and how they were going to see the combination of these assets internally aligned now for one larger company that hopefully can bring this new technology and new products to light sooner and faster and help them attract buyers quicker.
Absolutely. Well, the snapshot of PERQ that you've provided us, it says PERQ utilizes marketing technology to attract potential customers to businesses, both online and in person, using incentives. The in-person factor, you certainly have the legs and the full experience, and in doing that, and the online factor as well. All of those different initiatives you've been excelling in. So the consolidation of this brand. How do all of these different unique funnels start sharing that information collectively? How have you been able to bridge all that together as an intuitive tracking of consumers?
Sure. So a lot of that leads to itself on the FATWIN technology.
Yep.
And so we found one of the best ways of being able to bring new customers to the top of funnel with incentives is around prize promotions. So FATWIN really enables businesses to be able to run contests, games, giveaways wrapped up around prizes, and we make that much easier for businesses to be able to deploy those promotions. So the value that they get from FATWIN is essentially, you can look at, we're not necessarily making your advertising. FATWIN makes your advertising perform better.
Excellent.
So by applying FATWIN and the contest and prize incentive on top of the advertising, advertisers get an increase in all the response they're looking for, with whether it's emails being collected, foot traffic, online traffic, social media engagement, by applying it to your existing advertising budget. And so there's been a lot of emphasis over the past 5-10 years on the digital marketing. What our technology is able to do is to be able to take our technology and apply it to all forms of your marketing, whether that's inserts, direct mail pieces, digital, social, and be able to wrap that all up into one dashboard where you can see how is all your marketing performing. And then still even farther, for if you have a brick and mortar location, we can put our technology in your store to be able to see who is actually showing up from your marketing actually and visiting in store.
And that was the biggest gap. That has been the biggest gap of how do you actually translate. How do you track all those efforts outside of their own spheres? How does that actually relate to that foot traffic? How does that relate? How can you actually see? I hate using the term ROI. That's not. I'm not going to go there. How do you actually translate that into the true consumer embrace? Triggering off of, because we all know that marketing is not just one touch. Marketing could be 15 touches in different spaces of a consumer life cycle. They're seeing you over here, they're seeing you over here, they're interacting in a number of different areas, and then being able to translate that into a repeatable process, but actually see it work at the cash register as somebody's walking in. That's been the biggest chasm for all of this type of marketing.
Andy mentioned top of funnel.
Right.
And so there are a great deal of many more steps in marketing that you have to take. What we're going to sell out is being able to bring people to your website or into your physical location that maybe might not even have been there before or not been there in quite some time. So what we're able to do is be able to give them a brand experience from your location by either having them in your store, experiencing your goods, seeing your location, and being able to incentivize them to make a purchase while they're there, or doing the same thing on your website. So what we're able to do is be able to leverage the power of the incentives to have the consumers taking action at that point versus being and generating new leads in the top of your funnel for then the further lead nurturing to occur from there. So we're not going to be the experts at lead nurturing. There's great other people and partnerships that we have that we can be able to say, now that we've generated all these leads for you, here are the next steps in marketing that you can further take advantage of. Where we excel out is bringing the people who haven't been in touch with your business ever before or in quite some time actually into awareness of your brand. And
through we use multiple call to actions that ultimately end with, for that consumer's end result, sending them to your location if that's what you're after. We can drive them digitally to your website, but we can also drive them to your location. So for us, we provide in-store tracking in the form of kiosks at the stores.
There you go.
So if their first engagement is on some sort of landing page, that landing page through the collection and data collection, and then ultimately running that contest or playing that promotion, or end result is go to the store.
Yep.
And when they get to the store, they go to the kiosk, engage with the contest, the promotion a little bit further, And there you go.
There it is. So, I mean, we've crossed the digital boundary, and it's real transactions that you can track, and more importantly, you can repeat. The entire machinery is scalable, obviously, but it's repeatable. So you have something that could. You also see something that doesn't work, and you can do reversion control and be able to make sure that you've got a continual moving of the dial upward. Well, you know what? We're going to be continuing our conversation with the leaders of PERQ and find out about Scott's and Andy's journey as entrepreneurs, as well as what the future is looking like for this consumer incentivizing company. This is very interesting stuff.
You're listening to Edge of the Web Radio with Aaron Sparks. We're online with exclusive podcasts, the latest web news, and links at edgeofthewebradio.com.